Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm hoping you guys can hear me today on Instagram and YouTube. Let's see, I'm having some issues with Instagram right now. I don't know what's going on with these social media platforms. I know the last time I was online, those of you on YouTube and Facebook couldn't hear me. So if you still can't hear me today, let me know. If you can hear me, please comment and let me know you can hear me if you're on YouTube or Facebook. But for the rest of you on Instagram, good morning. Hope you guys are having a great week, getting ready for the holidays. Oh, YouTube, you can hear me. Perfect. Hi, Ramanuj. Good morning. Welcome everyone. Hi for Forever King. Good morning. Ridiculously Ray. Good morning. Good morning, Juliet, Franca, Addo. Good morning, and Nasi. Good morning. Um, good morning, Siobhan. Um, Forever Girl Amanda. Good morning, Opami. Good morning, Butenia. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. My name is Aisha Chidole. I'm an immigration lawyer here in Atlanta, Georgia, but I represent clients all over the United States. So if you have an immigration matter, humanitarian case, family-based, naturalization, we'll be happy to assist you with your case. The phone number here is 407-995-6567, or you can send a message to WhatsApp on 404-333-8751. All right. Let's see. Let's just jump right into it. Let me see what your questions are today. Good morning, Mike from Virginia. Good morning, Lara. Good morning. Luciana says, good morning. You look amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Francis Ninja, good morning to you as well. Stulisha Russell, good morning. I sent you a message on WhatsApp and didn't get a response yet. So you sent our office a message because I don't actually review the WhatsApp messages. So just message again today, and then I'll just have them, or message us with your name or something, because I don't know who Holkin88 is. Maybe send a message on DM, or just call the office. That's the easiest way to schedule a consultation. We get a ton of messages, so sometimes it takes some time to get back to everyone. Brandon says, good morning, Aisha. That pink has your skin glowing. Thank you so much. Adrian, you said you can't hear me. I think others can hear me, so maybe you want to log out and log back in to see if you can hear me, but it seems that others can hear me. Okay, someone is asking on YouTube, I sent my RFE response 3 months ago following an I360 approval. Should I be worried? No, I wouldn't be worried. After 6 months, then that would be a long time, and then we want to do an inquiry just to check in and see what's up with that. But you should be fine right now. Hopefully you get a decision really quickly. Nell Canadian says, lips always popping. What lipstick do you use? Every day is different. Today I'm using a Christian Dior lipstick. Honestly, I don't remember the name of it, but I generally like the Christian Dior lipsticks because they're matte. I talk a lot, so I need something that dries on my lips and is not like liquid or that can stain while I'm talking. Oh, wait, I think my Instagram is frozen. Okay, let's try this again. See, you just gave me a filter. It just put a filter on me. Why the hell is there a filter on me? I don't know why I put this filter on me, and I absolutely hate it. Let me see if I can get it off. Okay, I think I got the filter off. Okay, let's see. Someone says, why is my case being waived? Do you mean waived? If that's your question, I don't know, because I don't know what kind of case you have. I don't know why it's being waived. I would need to know more. I sent in the paperwork for the I-130 for my husband since last year, October. When I checked the status of it, it still says pending. How long should it take to be approved? Are you a green card holder or a U.S. citizen? Timeline can vary depending on what your own status is. If you're a green card holder, it might take longer, just because visas bulletins are not current. If you're a U.S. citizen, this is a good time to definitely do an inquiry to see why or what is causing the delay, because I consider that to be a long time. Milton Torres says, hi, I'm from New York. It's been 3 months since my VA case was approved. When should I get the news from my I485? I am planning to use my advance parole to go on vacation. Is that safe? I wouldn't go on vacation right now without knowing where you are in your case. I know you got your VAWA approval. If you've not received any kind of RFE, or you're sure you've not received a request for an interview, like, it's not, if you can avoid going right now, maybe don't go. If you've not gotten an RFE, well, I don't know you personally, so I can't give you any advice, but just based on the facts or the parameters you've given here, I would wait. Okay. How long after an RFE is received will they make a decision on my VAWA? It's been 3.5 years now, and they transferred the 485 where the 360 is, which is at Vermont. When people ask me questions about RFEs and like what the timeline is, honestly, I can't tell you what the timeline is. Every RFE is different, and there's no published time for an RFE. Each officer is different in how quickly they process these. That being said, for me, my own threshold is 6 months. After 6 months, I want to know, well, what's up? Like, can we get a decision, etc. So you use that to determine from your timeline what's best. Aftab says, excellent, thanks. Shawnee says, good morning. How do I get to you without a consultation? And I do have a case with your firm. Send a message in your client portal. And that's how you can get to me. Okay. Good morning, attorney. Who is going to be interviewed for the I360 I485 combo? What type of questions will they ask? I saw this comment a lot. So to repeat again, for VAWA cases, in the past, there were no interviews at the VAWA approval before they made a decision on VAWA. There were only interviews scheduled for some people and not all for the I485. As of December of this year, they are now requesting interviews of certain applicants. The word certain is very vague. We don't know who certain is or what that constitutes. Majority of people are still not going to get interviews, but certain people will. We have had one interview, as I mentioned last week, and it was a 2.5-hour interview. It was a very long interview. You're going to get a lot of questions about your VAWA application. They're going to want to know your entire story, how and when you met your spouse, what sorts of things you did together, where was your spouse living, where were you living. They're going to dig in to find out cohabitation and get proof that you guys really lived together and look at what you submitted. They are going to want you to tell them in your own words about your abuse and what you experienced. Let's see, what else do they ask? They ask a ton of questions. So if you're my client and you get an interview, you're in luck because, I typed it all down. So I will be using that to prep my own clients. But they ask a ton of questions. So you really, and the idea is that they're looking to make sure, and then also they wanted to know that you knew what kind of petition you filed. And I found that interesting because I think that, I've certainly had some people consult with the firm saying, oh, someone filed a VAWA case for me, like, a paralegal or a notary or somebody, and I say, oh, were you married to a U.S. citizen? No. Do you have a 21-year-old that's, a U.S. citizen? No. Did they file it for you when you were under 21 and your parent is a U.S. citizen or a green card holder? No. So I'm like, so how could they file, a VAWA application for you? So a lot of people will just allow people, random people, file a VAWA application for them without knowing what they're filing, without knowing that they're not eligible to file it or whatever it is. So I think that the idea of this interview, the selecting random interviews, is to make sure that they reduce any kind of fraudulent applications being filed. Not that you'll just put it in a random application just to get a work permit and you're not actually eligible for it. So it's really important that you really know your case inside and out and you know what kind of case you're filing. The only people right now that they're going to be interviewing are people who have, an I360 and an I485 at the exact same time, that they applied for it at the same time. If you have only an I360 only, they're not going to be interviewing you. And again, even those who have an I360 and an I485, they're still just selecting, certain individuals. We don't know. I've not had enough to be able to see a pattern yet. So that's what I would say. So, as time comes and goes, the more I see, the more I can be able to share. One of the questions, again, that I asked the officer was, because you're doing this interview early, meaning this applicant submitted the application in 2024, are we going to get a quicker decision? Is that going to, so he said, well, valid cases take a long time, it's probably still going to take a long time, but the idea behind this is that we can move quicker for those people. I think that the officer didn't want to commit himself to saying that it would be quicker because, again, he doesn't want to make that commitment and then it's not. So time will tell, we'll see with this person how soon, what will happen. Kenzie says, will Trump remove TPS? Honestly, I don't know. I'm actually exhausted from making speculations. I cannot tell you guys. I feel like my email is filled with people in pandemonium and fear. I get random emails from random people, not even clients, just asking, so am I going to get deported from it? I don't know the answer, guys. Maybe stop consuming this information because it's stressful to you. And I think that a lot of people are transferring that stress onto us as immigration lawyers. I don't know what Trump is going to do. Yes, Trump has promised mass deportation, but we don't know what we don't know until, Trump enters and makes laws and those laws actually pass, because there are some things that he said he wants to do that are not things that he can easily do or that violate the Constitution and would require amending the Constitution, right? So it's one thing to say something, but it's another thing to actually implement it, So I can't tell you what he's going to do. Is he a fan of TPS? No. Is he going to remove it? I truly don't know. In the previous administration, he was anti-DACA. Right now on the news, he said, DACA, for those with DACA, they've been here a long time, their parents brought them here. They've been working hard. He's going to find a way to keep them here, right? Which is good news for them. But so this is something that flip-flops that no lawyer can truly give you any kind of analysis, because I don't believe in giving people news that is not news. Meaning, if it's not the law, why am I telling that to you? Because if I tell you he's going to do this and he doesn't do this, you would say, oh, Attorney Aisha said he's going to do this. So until stuff is law, I do not announce it. You might follow my timeline and you'll see that, there's some people that enjoy that. And breaking news, blah, 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 blah. My breaking news has to be law. I am not going to contribute to stoking fear or panic or pandemonium into people until it becomes a law and we know what the law is and who's eligible for the law or what disqualifies a person for law. That's my modus and that's how I operate. So for right now, the answer is we don't know whether he's going to remove it, but if he does, I will surely let you know. Okay. What does it mean if cancellation notice for a request for additional evidence? How long to wait before their decision until oath taking? Going 2 weeks this Thursday since my citizenship interview. Girl, is this a girl or a guy? Matt is a man, is a boy. I don't even know if it's a girl or a guy. Only 2 weeks, and you're bugging out. 2 weeks is not even. 2 weeks is 2 minutes in the immigration world. You have time. You just got it. Cancellation means that whatever it was that they wanted from you, they don't need it anymore. That's all it means. So, give them some time. You just had your interview notice. If you've not heard anything in 6 weeks, then, maybe you can do an inquiry to see what's going on. This person says, my wife did an N400 interview a week ago. She passed both tests, and then IO gave her a paper saying decision cannot be made. She did on 5 years green card rule. Is that normal? I don't know, because I don't know what happened with your spouse. Maybe they need to review everything, or maybe they're going to request some evidence from you, or from her, I mean. Okay. Good morning, Suzanne. Can I randomly send my medical exams to USCIS without them requesting it? We wouldn't. We don't do that. We need to get a request for it if we've not already sent it, because sending it now means that there's a risk that it could get into the wrong hands or the wrong filing room, and then you're going to have to resend it again. And since the topic of medical has come up, I wanted to also make sure to remind you guys that, I'm sure you guys are aware that the rules have changed. The rules have changed. Now you must submit your medical exam at the same time in which you submit your I-485. If you don't submit it at the same time, your application could be rejected or denied. Okay? So make sure you're doing your medical. If you are claiming an exemption to doing the COVID vaccination, make sure you have your 601 waiver argument and form completed when you're submitting it, so that you're not going back and forth and sending more RFEs. Okay. They changed the I-485 forms, 2 weeks ago, but then they changed it again last week. So the new form is now going to go into effect February 10th. Before that, we can use the 2 old forms. So right now is a period where there's going to be a lot of very quick changes, and a lot of times they're not going to be big announcements on those changes. So it's really important that you're working with someone that is in the know, or is on the beat with USCIS and knows what's happening and gets this news, because once you send those things now, sometimes they will just reject it or cash a check and then deny it because you don't have that stuff. So you lose your money and you still don't get your case approved. So you want to be mindful of that. Okay. I filed for VAWA a year ago. I have an EAD with advanced parole. Can I travel to the UK? Without knowing your personal case, I personally cannot give you any advice on whether you can travel or not. Traveling is always a risk, especially going into the new administration. It's always a risk to travel. Normally, if you have an advanced parole, you don't have any removal proceedings, you have not received an RFE, you've not received a NOID, your case has not gotten to the interview stage. Normally, for my own clients, generally, I'm okay with them traveling, but it's always a risk every time that you travel. Okay, let me see. Someone's asking, can you submit your medical from your I-130 to your I-360 due to the fact that your spouse withdraws the application? The answer to that is it depends. So if you're doing a VAWA case where you're requesting an abeyance and you submitted your medical after November 2023, your medical will typically still be good. So that's for all of you guys now. So anyone that did medicals after November 2023, those medicals would no longer expire as of this current administration. I say this current administration because I don't know if the next administration is going to change it. But as of this current administration, those don't expire. We're seeing a lot of forms change or whatever it is. This I-485 form that we now have to use as of February 10th, it's very possible that even before February 10th, there'll be a new form because you have a new administration. I've been there, done that, in the previous administration. The beginning of every presidency, it doesn't matter who's in office, you're going to see a lot of changes, very quick changes with forms changing it to what they want and stuff like that. So, let me just belabor the point again. You want to really be mindful of those things that you're submitting, making sure that what you're eligible for is what you're still eligible for at the time of submission. Okay. Let's see. I did my medical last year, but my I-485 got rejected for lack of funds. Does it mean I have to redo my medical? I just talked about this, so hopefully you were listening for the answer. What category of EAD is filed for VAWA case? For your VAWA case, you don't file for an EAD for your VAWA. They approve you for an EAD if your VAWA is approved, if that's your question. You file for an EAD for adjustment of status if you're adding it to your VAWA application. Someone says, I like that for DACA. Yes, I like that for DACA. And, I also think that the same way that they're providing DACA, I feel that the new administration should find a way to work with the parents, just like they're working with those kids, those dreamer kids who have also been here for 30 years, 20 years, have worked and done all those things, paid taxes and been law-abiding citizens, like what this current administration introduced, the PIP. So I hope that there will be something similar that they could bring for them, because they also kind of fall in the same category. I know with DACA, they didn't ask to be here, because they were minors brought here. So it's a little different from when you as an adult willfully chooses to enter here. So maybe they can make the timeline longer, or something. I don't know. Okay. I had a consultation with you, and I have a quick question. Can an adjustment of status application be denied because a U.S. citizen spouse owes less than $2,000 in taxes? No. Mickey says, thank you for everything you've done for me. Oh, you're welcome. I don't know who this is, but I'm so happy to hear that. Matt says, thank you. You're welcome. Why are all these people saying thanks? Well, you're welcome, guys. For those of you who already sent your applications without medicals, there's no problem. There's no problem. This is not a retroactive rule. So you see, this is the thing I talk about, misinformation or people that create panic for no reason. If you sent your medical before this law, if you sent your application without your medical before this law was put in place, a couple of days ago or weeks ago, you're fine. Okay. They will request for your medicals. Not a big deal. I mean, I got even 2 today. So don't create a reason to panic for no reason. How soon can I talk to someone if I book a consultation today? Honestly, I don't know. I don't have the calendar in front of me, so I can't tell you. I have a 751 application in progress, and my husband abused me 1 year ago. The relationship cannot work. I can always apply for VAWA. If you have an I-751 application in progress, based on a joint sponsorship with your spouse, you can file for removal of condition requesting an abuse waiver. So even if your application is already pending, you can actually do an amendment, and that's something that we help clients with all the time. So we'll be happy to help you if you need help. I feel like they're going to start telling people to stop filing I360 and I485 concurrently. I don't know. I don't know that they will. I don't know that they will, because the idea is that if you have those pending cases, just like with an adjustment of status case, allow them to work. The reason for concurrent filing of the I-485, one, is to reduce backlog, and also to allow people to work because they're spouses of U.S. citizens, or for those who are green card eligible spouses to work. So I doubt that they will do that. They didn't do that in the previous administration, and the ones before that, they didn't do that in the current one. And I don't foresee that changing next year, because that will just make the workload harder for USCIS, and they're already understaffed. Okay, let me take 2 more questions or 1 more questions. Please, I filed for VAWA. I responded to the RFE. It was approved, and I was asked to do medical. I've done that as well, but I've not gotten my card. I'm really anxious. Just breathe, like that's part of the process. As long as everything is okay with your medicals, you'll get approved. If they need you to go do something else with your medicals, they'll send you a letter. Like some people, they may need to do tuberculosis, or, we've had a client where the RFE we got saying, the doctor didn't check off like the tuberculosis, go check it or go resubmit it. So, but you'll get it. It's just a matter of time. 1 more question. I'm a U.S. citizen. Can I file for my stepson in Jamaica, although my husband doesn't have a green card? Yes, as a U.S. citizen, you are an immediate relative to any stepchild who became your stepchild before that child turned 18. So as long as that child became your stepchild before they turned 18 and they are under 21, you can file directly for them. Your husband, who's the biological dad, doesn't need to be the one to file. They will be filing, you will be filing for the son based on your good faith marriage to your husband. So, the evidence would be using to support is that this is truly his child and truly you have a good faith marriage with the husband. I'm most likely not going to be on live again until after the new year. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing holiday. I wish you all good health. I wish to see all of you in 2025. If you have any immigration matter, please reach out to us. And I will see you guys in 2025. All right. Bye, everyone.